Let me show you.
What's up, y'all? We back at it with another video for JJK spinoff, man. Chapter 13 to be exact. I'm currently out of town, man. Hopefully you guys respect the grind because I got to get this video to you guys. Again, you know what I'm saying? Thank you for all the happy Thanksgiving wishes and all of that. Greatly appreciate it. Hope you guys had an amazing Thanksgiving as well. But we got to talk about this JJK. Now, of course, I'm using the fan translations. It's hot as a bitch in here. I don't know why my family keep this house burning up. But yo, we got to talk about the latest chapters, man. We got to, man. This chapter is insane. We actually get to see some old people from JJK. We learn some more information about Yuji. We got to talk about it. Cross. I think he might be donezo. I think he might actually be gone. But we got to get into it, man. Again, subscribe, hit the bell. So it looks as if the chapter, and I got, I'm going to put the pictures on the screen as I edit it, but I got to hold my phone because I ain't got no computer to kind of look at shit. But it seems as if the chapter starts off. You got Cross. He's been shot. He's in the hospital bed. They're trying to tend to his wounds. Again, you got Maru there who's he's just frozen. He's just looking at what happened to his brother, and he's just thinking to himself like, yo, I want blood. That's the look he has on his face. He doesn't actually say it, but he just has that look like, yo, you guys took out my family. There's no more trying to be neighbors and stuff. I want all of y'all bodied up. That's just the look that Maru has on his face. Now, maybe I'm the only one who's seeing it that way, but the dude just he doesn't look like his normal self. And to be expected, his brother just took two to the chest. But anyway, you got it where they're saying like, yo, why did this happen? How did this happen? They assumed that Cross was going to pull out a blade. And so, the sorcerer reacted and put two in him. Now, I think that's kind of messed up. Again, it's hot as hell. But I think it's messed up that this sorcerer did this. And I honestly was like, yo, they should take that sorcerer out, blood for blood. But you got it where it's like, were the sorcerers that capable? And of course, the guy that was there who had the tears in the previous chapter, I really got to learn this dude's name. But you have it where he's like, there's no way any of those guys could have handled Cross. The only reason they got to Cross and was able to hit him is because he truly wasn't grabbing a weapon. He was trying to grab something, far as to help peace come about. And they assumed it was a weapon. And because of that, they were able to strike him down. So then you have it where it jumps to, I guess, like the office of the sorcerers. And you got this one particular sorcerer. She's apologizing, saying like, yo, I'm sorry. I couldn't do anything to help Usami. And you find out that Usami got hurt in that altercation between the aliens and the humans when Cross got, shot up. And you have it where she's apologizing, saying like, yo, I wasn't able to heal him. And so it turns out that that's Usami that's actually in the hospital bed. That happened due to him using his curse technique. The speech ability did this to him. This man looks like he's on death's door. Yo, in fact, you know who he looks like in this panel? He looks like the guy that was in the tub, Mekamaru. The dude who, Palace Mekamaru, he looks like that dude when he was like in the tub all bandaged up. That's exactly how Usami looks. But you got to where it seems as if this girl, she's some type of healer like sorcery. So I wonder how strong her ability is, because she's saying she wasn't able to heal Usami because his wounds was just too great. The effects of his speech technique was it did too much to his body, too much damage. And I remember when they said it's nearly impossible for someone to use reverse healing technique on someone else. It's hard enough doing it on themselves, but to do it on someone else is nearly impossible. So I wonder if that means that this particular sorcerer, this woman, she's cut from a different cloth. I'm very curious about that. You have it where Tsurugi, he's kind of like in disbelief, like he can't believe something like this actually happened. Something like this actually took place. And you get a little bit of a flashback of what happened in the previous chapter when Dbor showed up to the battlefield or to Tokyo, where the humans were taking out these curses, which they view as Kaiyans. And you have it where as Dbor is walking up, the sorcerers, they're just pretty much frozen. You have it where Usami says like, yo, don't move. Then one of the sorcerers was like, yo, as if we needed to be told, like, look at the presence of this guy. And they got it where Dbor is walking, and it was like, yo, no one can move in front of a monster like that. So I'm really curious how strong Dbor is in terms of, like, if we were to compare him to Sukuna or Yuji or Gojo, I wonder how strong is this guy actually, you know what I'm saying, really is. And if they did tell us in some point in time, and maybe I'm just not remembering, let me know, because I don't know if they actually said like he's on par with such and such. Oh, he's even stronger than such and such. I'm not sure if they actually said that. But anyway, you got it where Dbor is walking up. Everyone on both sides, humans and aliens, just pretty much freeze in their tracks. And you have it where Dbor walks up to the guy. He says like, yo, are you the one who shot Cross? That right there, man, as soon as I would have heard that line, if I was that sorcerer, I would have straight been running. I would have been hauling ass. There's no way I would still be standing there just like, it was me. There's no way I would have did that. But you have it where Usami instantly, like, he starts to move. He's like, yo, this dude is about to get butchered. I got to do what I can to save him. And of course, you have it where he pulls up his hand and he does his speech technique and he says, don't move. Do not move. But by the time he could get those words out of his mouth, Dbor has already taken the arm of the guy who shot Cross. And you have it where, you know, Usami is saying like, yo, this dude is too fast. Like, yo. And then you got everyone saying like, Dbor, please calm yourself. Calm yourself. And then the fact that Usami told Dbor, don't move. That was his speech curse technique in effect. But the fact that Dbor can still move so quickly, so effortlessly, it shows how strong he is. And because of that, you have it where Usami was starting to feel the drawback, the effects of his curse technique because of how strong Dbor is. And you have it where he kind of like feeling the pain. He falls down to his knees. And you got it where Dbor looks at him and says like, yo, oh, so this is what it looks like when a human uses their curse abilities. He says, man, it looks as if you're suffering. And you see Usami on the ground. He's coughing up blood. And he's like, yo, we deeply apologize for what happened, for this incident. Like, yo, please forgive us, man. Let's not let things get any worse. And then you got it where, you know, Dbor is just looking. And he's like, man, you guys took out Cross. He starts to count the sorcerers that's in the area. It seems to be, I think he said, what, 12? He was like, 12, 13 of y'all. Nah, yeah, it's about 13. But that's not enough. That's not enough of a payment for Cross's life. Because they're saying pretty much they don't think Cross is going to make it. They don't think Cross is going to survive. And even in this whole chapter, they don't ever let us know whether or not Cross died or survived. We still don't have information on that. But you have it where he was like, you have it where Usami saying, please don't harm them. Only take me. I'm the one responsible. I was the one in charge, so I'm the one who should bear responsibility. I love the fact that Usami did that, but me, on the other hand, I would have been like, yo, take the dude who did it. Even exchange, blood, body for body. Take that guy. He attacked Cross. Take him, and we should be dead. We should be even. We should be dead even. But of course, you have it where, you know what I'm saying, Dbor is asking what happened, and they're letting him know. Like, yo, they were butchering Cayennes. You know, they were slaughtering them. But they're calling them curse spirits. And then you have it where Dbor looks over at Usami and sees his friend in Usami because he was willing to sacrifice his life for his people. So you have it where Dbor himself kind of like walks off from the situation saying like, yo, we may have to do battle. Similar to like what happened in the past with, you know, the father-like figure of Maru and Cross, where they did that battle to the death and whatever side wins get their way. And you have it where it jumps back to the higher ups. They're having discussions, and you have it where this sorcerer that has this healing like ability, she wants to try to heal Cross, but they're trying to explain to her what would go wrong if that was the, you know, if you were to try to do that. Like, suppose we bring Cross in, you try to heal him, and as a result, he dies. That could make the war, you know what I'm saying, come even faster than it would if he was to die, you know, on their plane, on their ship, you know. So they're pretty much trying to break that down. Next thing you know, you have it where it's like, yo, he wants to do a tournament. It does a time skip about a month, not a tournament. They want to do a battle. They want to do a match, just like they did on their planet, where one of our warriors will face off against Dbor. And you have it where a month jumps by, and then within that month, they don't really tell us whether or not Cross died. You know what I'm saying? They show hospital bed, they show feet on it, they show one blanket wrapped over someone, but we don't know who that person is. I imagine that could be the sorcerer who got his arm taken by Dbor, and it could also be Usami, because we don't see him no more in this chapter, and maybe he was taken out from his injuries. But we have it where a war's about to take place a battle's about to take place between one of ours and one of theirs. And you have it where they're trying to get in contact with Yuji. They say they haven't seen him. They haven't had any leads onto where Yuji actually is. And then that's when we actually get to see Nobara. Yes, Nobara makes her return in this chapter. And they ask her, they're like, yo, when's the last time you seen Yuji? And she says the last time she said seeing Yuji was at the funeral of Hana. Now, we don't know if Hana died due to a curse, if she died of natural causes. We're not even 100% sure how Hana actually passed away. But we have it where she says Yuji told her, like, yo, this is the last funeral I will be attending. I don't want to actually see my friends, in this manner. I don't want to bear with the fact of losing my family, losing my close ones, my families. And you have it where she says that's the last time I seen him. Now, she says every time she does see Yuji, it reminds her that she's getting old. Now, I don't know if she mean that on the strength that, seeing him old makes her realize that she's old, or if she means like he's not aging in the normal way and he looks really young. So it makes her realize that, she's old. I'm not really sure what she means by that term. I mean, maybe one of y'all can enlighten me or at least tell me what you think she meant in that term. But she pretty much saying like, he's probably upset on the fact that he's not living the way his grandfather told him before he died. And remember, his grandfather said like, yo, help those in need. So when you die, you'll have a bunch of friends surrounding you. And it seems as if he's outliving all of his friends. And I wonder if that's due because he does have reverse healing. He does have reverse healing. So we don't know 100% sure. But anyway, you have it where time goes by and the match is about to begin, where one of our own are going to face off against Dbor. And it seems as if your girl Yuka, she's the one who decided to face off. Well, she was asked and she did not deny the challenge. So she's going to be facing off against Dbor, and it looks like it's going to take place in the next chapter. I can't wait to see what happened. We do know she's about to die. So it might be a situation where she's about to die from her disease. So it could be a situation where she may win, but still die in the end due to her disease, or she could die in the battle against Dbor, and she tells her brother, don't worry, I only had this amount of time to live. I wonder what Tsurugi actually has to say about his sister accepting this challenge. Does he even know about it? I don't know. There's a lot of questions we need answers for. But this chapter was amazing, man. But make sure you check out the official chapter when it drops to show your love and respect for the series, man. But hopefully you like this video. Thumb it up, subscribe, hit the bell, and I'll catch you guys in the next one, man. Peace.